It's another episode of Steph Infection, and here I am still in All Things Comedy. They haven't kicked me out yet. It's been 2 episodes, could you imagine? With the amazingly talented Rob Raco. Hello.
Hi, Steph.
Actor, musician.
Magician.
Wow, I didn't
Yeah,
know that was the third one that came in there.
Just sounds good, doesn't it?
I love it. People listening may recognize you most from Riverdale, correct? Mm-hmm. Was that your biggest?
No, it was my biggest.
Okay. I never saw it. I'm really sorry.
Same.
I want to tell the people how we met, though, because it's really comical.
Yes.
It was middle of the pandemic, right?
Yeah, 2020.
We were on a flight to Air Canada Toronto, because you're Canadian. Yeah, and this is why honorary Canadians. So we're on the plane, and I remember looking over thinking you were an attractive man. I don't know if you knew that part of the story.
I didn't know that.
Even in,
All right.
For no, you're like me. I didn't notice. So I remember looking over and thinking, oh, that's an attractive man, and I had my dog with me, Susan. And I always joke that I'm like, no attractive man ever sits near me on a plane. I always get like 2 gargoyles and a toad. I'm like, why do they let a toad on the plane? Because my friends are always like, oh, I said this. Anyway, whatever. I look over, and there's a woman causing a bit of a stir.
Yes, that's right.
She's causing quite a scene. I'm going to go as far as say she's pulling a Karen.
She was a 100% Karen.
So this is like height of the pandemic. We're all masked. You're sitting there, minding your own business. She's standing up before we take off going, I can't sit here. I don't want to sit too close to this guy. Something like this. I look over, and you look over at me, and I'm like, I had a whole row. I had 3 seats to myself because I specifically asked because my dog, I'm like, can I get a big row for the dog? And I looked over, I'm like, fuck it. I'm like, this guy can't sit there. I'm like, hey, if you want to sit in this row. And I thought you were going to say no because the dog. And then you're like, oh, immediately you were like,
oh my God, please. Yeah.
You literally were like, may I? And you like came right over. And then I'm like, as long as you don't mind dog hair. And then Susan did continue to borderline molest you the entire.
Oh, I was licked until I landed. And then Susan was also licking me, but God, Karen.
Sorry, my tongue was dry after that flight. Pardon me. It was hard to get any feeling back into it. A lot of lint. But you sat down, and so a mask. So this is just your eyeballs.
Yes.
So I look over at you, and I'm like, hey, we're chatting, just whatever. It's also the seat in the middle, so we're not like, wasn't that perverted. And I was like, hey, I recognize you. And you're like, yeah. And I bet you get this all the time. You're like, yeah, Riverdale. And I was like, no. I'm like, I'm pretty sure you were in the episode of I Think You Should Leave with the TC Tuggers in the hallway. And you were like, what? You're like, no one's ever recognized me for that. And I'm like, also so psychotic that that's exactly how I recognize you.
Yeah. TC Tuggers, pulling the thing.
And then you were the teenager in the hall being like...
I was making fun of the Riverdale job, yeah.
Were you playing the same character from Riverdale on that?
No, it was just kind of the same. I think it was called like Riverview or something, right? And they were like, teen drama, smoke. Teens making fun of things. Tim was a blast. But yeah, I think you were the first person to recognize me from that. Now that's all I get. So now, because of the pandemic, it's all a bunch of stoners being like, hey man, you're the dude with the thing.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like,
you're like, yeah,
that's me, please.
I feel good being able to recognize you from that, though. That was
that was great.
Like, I also, because I watched I Think You Should Leave probably the first season 300 times, and I was like really obsessed with it. But I was like, yeah, that was because I used to get recognized in Toronto all the time.
Okay.
And I'd be like, yeah, I'm a comedian. And they'd be like, didn't you work at Duff's Famous Wings? I'm like, I'm gonna kill myself. I got recognized all around town for being the waitress from Duff's Wings for years.
I've never been at Duff's.
You never been at Duff's?
Yeah, but you look familiar. Damn.
That's probably what it is.
Yeah, probably a drunk night in Toronto.
Yeah, probably. We probably at some point. Yeah. You're younger than me though, so we probably
didn't.
Same
age.
How old are you?
It doesn't matter.
You can't tell your
I can't
age.
actually say that. No.
I can't legally say because I got
between the ages of 16 and 21.
Yeah. Book him on the next season of Riverdale. I got my 1985 tattooed right on my arm. Let the world know I'm 37. Is it going to affect my bookings? Probably.
No. No, because you just wear sleeves.
No one can tell you. yeah, sleeve. You're tattooed, aren't you?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. You're like
how old are you? I'm like, I'm 19.
Yeah, I'm 19, just fully covered. You have gaping ass. I don't know why.
Why does it say death on your neck? Doesn't matter.
Yeah. I don't know why I went to gaping ass. Yeah. When you get older, your ass will gape. I don't know if you knew
true.
that.
I don't even have a chair bottom right now.
Whoops. You're clenching on. You're getting a big workout on the anus. See, you are sick. Okay, before we started rolling, we're, because this is a podcast is very open about body and whatever.
Yeah.
But as an actor, you have to be careful with what you say.
Of course.
So like, what do you have like a PR person that's like, really?
Yeah.
Do they have to listen? So will I have to send this to them first to like okay it?
Maybe. I don't know. I didn't really ask them to do this. You're just like, can you? And I'm like, yep, I'm in.
You didn't ask shit.
I did not ask. I'm like, damn, that retainer down the drain.
Fuck. Okay, because I'm like, I don't know. Like what? Like did they tell you not to talk about like sex stuff? Like what do they normally?
I mean, I'm a grown man, and I think the world should know about silly things that happen to humans because we all wonder it.
Yes.
And we've put boundaries and borders on things. And yes, there's a professional element to what people don't want to be perceived as, but that's not why I'm here.
No. I'm not saying I'm not going to get into anything like like force you. You say it or this doesn't air. No, I'm just holding you.
Yeah.
No, but it's such a wild thing because I can say, I shouldn't be saying half the things I'm saying. Like it's. Sometimes I post some clips. I'm like, I shouldn't have posted that one. That one was a bit too.
But that's what I love. That's what makes me like gut wrench watching your stuff. I think that's part of your thing.
It's part of it to be repulsed and like, can she say that? And turns out you can't actually say that, especially on Instagram, because I have been on a ban now I think I just got off it, but I'm probably gonna go back on it with the clip I posted today. So
you're on a ban. All right.
Yeah, I keep going on a ban. If you work at Facebook or Instagram, hit me up because you guys hate me.
Fix it
because it's really frustrating. But yeah, I wasn't making any money for like 2 months because I had a full ban where I wasn't really in the algorithm, and I had someone who works there look into it, and they're like, they are pushing your videos down. Because I said like labia, or I said fucking, who knows what I said.
You can get paid on Instagram? Wait a second.
Yeah. Do you not post reels? You post stuff.
I don't post reels, no.
Don't you? You post pics?
Just post selfies of me looking like, just getting out of the shower.
Yeah.
No. No.
Rock hard abs?
Rob Rock Hard Abs is my new
name.
You.
That's a fun nickname. You should.
That's not it. It's Flab Abs.
Yeah, okay. If you're flabby, then I'm... Tabby? What a fun...
Hi, Tabby. I'm Flabby.
See, we should start an improv thing. Okay, so where in Canada are you from again?
I am from Windsor, Ontario.
Okay, yeah. I remember that. Windsor...
Colbert called it the butthole of Canada. Yeah.
Not wrong.
Not wrong. It's just like kind of things go through it. Things
go through Windsor. Windsor's
I'm proud to be from it though. We have that Detroit energy.
Yeah.
And the Canadian political and safety net of not being in Detroit. But,
yeah. Isn't it
very hard city?
Scary being not in Canada anymore? Like, do you like living out here? Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, when I first moved to LA, it was all shiny, right? And then I moved to New York pretty quickly. New York to me is always kind of be consistent, where it's like you just have awareness. So that wasn't as scary. Being here is scary, I'll find. Like LA is scary, where I'm like, what do you mean serial murders and people eating each other? I don't know. Like it's kind of weird. Also, the desperation out here is kind of like its own drug.
It's wild.
Yeah.
It's like it's very negative. I've like kind of grown to like kind of get used to it. Like I was driving my boyfriend and he's like, wow, you are a very aggressive, borderline violent driver. I'm like, this happens. I'm like, I wasn't like this. He's like, yeah, right. I'm like, no. In Canada, the open roads, driving up to the cottage, I was like, woo, singing Alanis Morissette and having a fucking blast. Yeah, just drinking fucking tall cans.
We don't have police in Canada.
Yeah, you can just drink and drive. You can't. We're both going to get arrested after this. But yeah, I was like, I'm grizzled now. I'm a grizzled driver.
Yeah.
No one's signaling. I'm constantly getting this is a classic LA thing to talk about, but it's true.
Yeah.
I'm violent now on the road.
I am aggressive. I forget to signal a lot now. I kind of carve my... Yeah, I'm just like in the big black car and I'm like, all right, well, you want to be slow? Get out of my way!
Literally, on the way here, I said some vile things that we forget the windows are down for, and we go, ooh, Steph's going to get canceled if a TMZ car goes by. He's like, what was that again? I'm like, nothing.
Nothing. I love children. What?
Like, what
all of that's going to get me canceled.
Yeah, all of it, yes.
What was I going to say? I've learned my therapist loves me, and he has suggested to breathe during the traffic thing, to be like, it's not about you. Let's portray love and be like, your lateness is not. And I'm like, I had to learn a different behavioral setting by coming to Los Angeles and being like, I'm 15 minutes late, which is now 3 hours. I might as well live on the 101. So I live here now.
How many times have you been like, well, this is my new home on the 101? I'm like, this is me now in Park.
Yeah.
My therapist also loves me. I love my therapist.
Yeah.
I think you're supposed to.
You hope so. You vet out a few to grab the one that's like, you got problems, but I'm going to find them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know I have problems.
Judy, if you're listening, thank you so much. Judy's going to get an earful tomorrow because I mentioned before we started the podcast, and I probably shouldn't talk about it, but I'm going to because, I did tell my boyfriend I loved him last night, and he did not say it back. And I don't know what to tell you. Here's the thing. Okay, let me give the how it happened.
Okay.
So I think we both feel it. And he's made comments where he's like, I'll say it when I'm like, it's a good time and all this crap. And I'm like, just, if you fucking feel it, feel it. I haven't been in love in 8 years. So I'm like, for God's sakes, I want to say it. So we're at the Improv last night. We're sitting at the bar drinking. I had done 3 shows already at this point.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We had a couple sips and he was just like gushing about me. Like I just heard him talking to the guy. Like he was just like, oh my God. He's like, she says she bombed, but she didn't. She always kills. And I was just like, just looking at him, and like an hour before that, he's like, we should get tattoos. I'm like, what? He's like, not like the exact same, but like fun little tattoos together. I'm like, I'll get a tattoo. I'm covered in stupid shit. I'm like, yeah, let's go. So I was like, that was in my head being like, oh, he wants a tattoo with me and like whatever. And then he was just literally gushing about me. Then he just turned over, looked at me, and he's like, you're gorgeous. And I was like, I love you. And he was like, what? And I was like, and then I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, who said that? My asshole. I'm like, I wish I did that because that would have made me feel a lot better. Because then I immediately was like, oh, he's not going to say it.
Oh.
And then he went, that made me feel really happy. And I went, oh, did it? I know. Thank you for this reaction. I was like, well, it did make me happy because I'm like, you're not going to say it. And then I'm like, well, then you can't say that because that's crazy to be like, you can't force someone to say they love you. And then I got like, I almost cried. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's justifiable, yeah.
Yeah, so my eyes like welled up. I'm like, don't cry here. I'm eating fucking nachos at the Improv. And I'm like, okay. Yeah, just hold on a second. Dabbing fucking nacho chips in my eyeballs. But I was like, okay, well, I don't know how to react to this because it's very triggering. I had an ex before where I'd say it all the time and he never said it back to me and it fucked me up. Or I'd like, whatever.
Say it back.
Even if you don't fucking mean it.
You just say it. Men, say it.
I don't care if you hate me. No, and then after we had a big talk last night because I was like bummed the fuck out. We went and got Taco Bell on the way home. That was cheers, yeah. Actually, it was my first time ever having Taco Bell. It's real.
What?
I know, I've never eaten Taco Bell.
How are you today? Are you all good in the bowels?
No.
Okay.
Violent diarrhea.
Repainted a few toilets on the way here. Disgusting.
Yeah. Your PR is editing that out for sure. We had a big talk and he's like, I don't know if he wants me to say all this, but he was just like, I don't think it was, I want to wait for the right moment.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, you fucking pussy. What do you want? To go on a fucking horseback ride at sunset?
Yeah, but that's all like ego stuff. That's him preconceiving what he thinks an I love you should be when you're like, yo, I loved you while eating nachos. That's love, right? That's it.
That's what I thought.
Like I loved you sitting on the couch and being like, hey babe, like, you know what I mean?
An organic moment.
Not like, it's not an engagement.
No.
It's I love you. It's I love the moments we have together. It's simple math.
Thank you. This is simple math and simple stuff.
Yeah.
Zach, if you're listening to this, listen to this. No,
Zach,
I don't listen to this.
Come on, man. I love you.
Hey, he even loves And then he goes like, I love Rob. I'm like, because then he keeps like telling Susan he loves her. And I'm like, oh, you love the dog? And he's like, mm-hmm. And I'm like, I know he does.
Love the dog.
Yeah, I know. Everyone loves Susan.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a new spin-off of Everyone Loves Raymond. Everyone Loves Susan. It's just me getting all the guys I like just to start fucking my dog over me. I'm like, really? Susan again? Why did I have to go to fucking? I don't know why my mind went to that.
Bestiality. And we're going to edit that. Thank you.
God damn it. Start writing these timestamps down. Yeah. It's fine. I'm fine. I'm not fine. I've been very crazy all day over it, but we'll be okay.
Just to make sense of it, she's 3 hours late. I've been here just perfectly prepping for this.
Perfectly still. Texting your PR, oh fuck, I've made a huge mistake. Look, it's fine. Have you ever said I love you and someone didn't say back before? No, I'm perfect in every single way and nothing's ever happened.
I'm a perfect man. I've had situations where people have hinted at being in love with me.
Okay.
And I'm like, let's figure that out. Like it's been 3 hours, like.
Well, that's a bit soon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, not really. Not really. The type of people, if I choose to date someone, if I choose to date someone, then I've really figured we figured each other out. It's pretty instant. And I'm like, I tend to gravitate towards people that have crazier lives than me. And I'm like, so when we make time for each other, it's like, oh, that's love of some sort, or addiction of some sort. And,
a combo of both.
Yeah, a combo of both. And the love comes organically. But there is, I mean, in my early days, there's definitely been times where I'm like, I don't know you. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
I don't, who are you? Yeah, I also, he has 2 kids, and I know he's had a divorce and stuff, so there's a lot more going on. It might be harder for him to say it, but I'm like, I just don't.
You're a very lovable human.
Mom, did you hear that? I'm lovable. So sad. You look over, I'm weeping. Gotta call Judy. Judy, we gotta move up the time slot today.
Why are we doing one single tear in this whole thing?
Well, it's my tear duct. It's drying here. You're like, no, you're violently unwell. Here's the thing. It's fine. It'll be fine. Is he here for 7 more days? Oh, I'm actually taking him to see Death from Above. 1979.
Amazing. That's going to be a good concert.
Are you ready for this? So this is, look, I had a big week last week. I had something fun happen. I'm not going to get into it. But then I DM'd Death from Above. And I've been DMing them for a bit.
Okay.
They're my favorite band. If you don't know Death from Above 1979, I don't tell you. I talk about them a lot. They're a rock duo from Toronto.
Yeah.
They're fucking incredible. The drummer is the lead singer. It's amazing. Anyways, I DM them a lot. I know they're fans of Bill Burr. I asked them to come do this podcast.
Yeah.
They couldn't because they're in town for one day. It would bug them. But Sebastian, who runs the account, who I might have a small, little, tiny baby crush. And I have since I was 16 years old. Anyways, it's fine. Have I seen them 18 times? I might have seen them 18 times. Did I used to go alone and stand at the front, and when he would sweat and it would drip on me, I'd lick it off? Maybe I did that. Maybe I did that a couple times. Maybe a little bit. I did it a couple times. I'm sick. Sebastian, please don't listen to this. So this has to come out after the concert. Oh, it will, thank God. Because he offered me to go backstage and meet them. And I don't want to tell you. Thank you. This is my fucking God. Like, this is the biggest. Huge. This is huge. This is a really fucking big deal for me. And I'm like, I gotta try to play it cool. Like, I don't know how. I told Zach, I'm like, I don't tell you, but I'm gonna be goo goo gaga for him. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, sorry. He does have a wife and kid, and it's nothing ever would ever happen. But I just young Steph is like, this is all I've wanted. I used to like live in Toronto. I went somewhere. Did you?
At some point.
At the Queen and Bathurst. Yes, Queen and Bathurst. Remember, it used to be the Big Bop in the corner.
Yes.
The 3-level fucking concert hall. I saw them there one night.
Okay, cool.
It was crazy. And then I was in the Pita Pit.
Oh, yeah.
Just down the street. Remember the Pita Pit? There's the pizza
Didn't someone get murdered at the Pita Pit?
Yeah, probably.
I thought that made the news. Someone got shot in the head at the Pita Pit.
In the head?
Yeah, shot in the head at the Pita Pit.
Huh.
Yeah.
Mid-order, or do you think they were...
Yeah, like, I hate tomatoes. This is really me, and someone died. Great. All right. Okay.
Not editing that out. That's
staying. That's got to stay.
So I'm ordering, I remember it was a Greek pita, and Sebastian walked by. Mid-order, I ran out, grabbed his arm. This is, I think, 16 years old at the time. Grabbed his arm, and I was like, oh my God. And he was like, let go of me now. And I was like, ah. And it was like that. I think that's the last time I officially met him. And it was bizarre. And then I hope he doesn't remember this, but it was startling.
Yeah.
And if I do it again, I'm probably going to do it again. I'm going to really try to go in and not be an absolute crazy lunatic, but...
Yeah. Well, I suggest Taco Bell right before in some diapers, and you'll be fine.
And then I say I love you, and he's like, I love you too. And I'm like, see, Zach!
Get out, Zach!
Was it that hard?
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm pumped up.
That's a good date.
That's a great date.
That's a really good date, yeah.
But I'm going to mosh, though, so it's not going to be that good of a date.
No, I think that's the next level.
You
can't say I love you in the pit.
You give them bleeding. I'm like, well, that's what you get. If you said it, they wouldn't put you in the pit.
Protected.
You're just like, you didn't protect me. Let's get into the body stuff. That you've been waiting for this.
Can't wait.
You've been waiting.
Can't wait. Disgusting.
It doesn't. Also, just because the podcast is called Steph Infection, it doesn't have to be disgusting.
I currently have a Steph infection.
Yes, lots of people do. I'm sorry to the men that I sat with. It doesn't have to be gross.
Yeah.
It could be anything. It could be anything.
Yeah. Of course. What do you want to start with?
Well, what do you want to start with?
Well,
What does your PR want you to start with?
Once I saw a finger.
Yeah.
Gross. Ew. There's so body stuff to me. Growing up in Windsor is a pretty gnarly place for bodies. So I don't mean that, no disrespect to Windsor, but we're just the bottom of the waterline. So, you know, things happen, a lot of rashes, a lot of things.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I once heard so I'll get into a story of someone else to bring it off me, but I once heard of a very green...
Penis?
Yeah. And this is in high school days, so I'm like, what do you mean? What was... Why did I lick my finger?
I have no idea what that entire
my sense memory. I need to know.
Were you licking the tip? I thought you like went to.
I need to know the.
You did a weird little swivel. I'm like, is that the tip or you just?
You just stay there and let me use my finger. And it always bothered me where I'm like, what causes a green infection on something? And in high school of old days, like, what did you have?
You're not really having that much sex in high school. I mean, maybe you are in Windsor.
In Windsor. In Windsor, yeah. Nothing else to do, What else are you going to do, you know what I mean?
That's it, you're in Windsor. You're going to put it in,
you can study or study. What do you want to...
What is this character? Hire him for the new Windsor gangster character.
Hey, how you doing?
He's the teacher that day. I'm going to teach you to study, but I'm also going to slap you around.
Yeah, you doing, yeah. Everyone in Windsor's canceled, I guess. So I heard of a weird thing, and it always stuck with me in life. I mean, there's a lot of stories like that. Like, I heard of a...
So wait, that's it? You never saw this penis?
I never saw the penis. I mean, that's a weird thing to think that I wish I saw in high school, to be like, just changing, going to football. I was never on the football team.
I was like...
Just like, hey, I'm the towel boy. Just take the towels off. I'm like, what is...
You're like, you don't go to school here. I do now.
I do. I can play high school student. What was I going to say? I never saw the penis. I kind of wish I saw the penis.
Okay. And you never knew what, like, to the extent...
We never knew the person. That's the thing. So it was a rumor that went around in high school. Again, another rumor that went around was a woman that, or I guess a young person that got a hot dog stuck
in there.
And I'm like, man, I would just love to know who they are now in life, to be like, what was the choice here? Like, do we know that's not... safe?
No.
I get that we're curious and we're young and we're figuring it out, but I'm a virgin and I'm 16, you know what I mean? Like, little me could have been like, I'm, you know.
That one could be a rumor, but also, to be honest, if you were, you know, starting to pleasure yourself, a hot dog doesn't sound that bad.
But it broke off.
Oh.
Yeah.
So so they got some of it out and some of it went in?
I don't want to think this far ahead.
I need to. Raw?
I mean, it came out cooked, but yeah.
It came out cooked and in a bun. And you were like, oh, okay. That was the line. That was the line for you. Came in a bun with a bit of relish on it. Why?
So feel high school
probably raw. Probably raw.
Probably, yeah, it was raw.
Okay.
It was raw. What I'm going to assume, I don't think someone would go through the time to be like, I'm going to grill this puppy up, put it in there. But I'm like, man.
Nice and hot.
Just kind of makes me sad about sex education in Windsor, where I'm like, come on. God.
Everywhere. Sex ed everywhere is very bad.
It is terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, we're Canadian. We grew up with the Sunday night sex show. What was her name?
Sue Johansson.
Sue, yeah.
Yes.
Legend. I watched that being like...
There's a documentary coming out about her.
Oh my God.
Yes, I know. This is okay. So I have a radio show every fucking Monday night at 6 p.m. on AMP. Please, God damn it. It's a new app and no one's really using it. Anyways, you can call in. And I call it Smut with Steph. And I'm trying to fucking monitor like the Sunday Night Sex Show with Sue. But now...
that's so good.
I know, because no one knows it is, though. It's only here in America. The AMP thing, so people can't call in from Canada. But I'm like, it's... Like, Google Sue Johansson.
North American, at least.
I don't know how to drink. Excuse me. So this woman, Sue Johansson, was like a 60-year-old woman? Older?
Yeah.
Full white hair would go on this like
I just remember
show.
Bananas and condoms, and I'm like, I'm way too young to watch this, but I feel bad, so I'm going to watch it.
Yeah.
But in that, my brain just absorbed everything. Where I'm like, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I can put the
the
you
things
taught things well.
Yeah,
and you'd call in and be like, we want to try a dildo, and she's like, of course, try. Like she was really good about it.
Yeah, it was just like professional, and I'm like, damn, if only every kid tuned in on that every time.
And they did not.
And they didn't.
I watched a lot of Red Shoe Diaries. David Duchovny reading those dirty stories.
Oh my God, I remember that. Yeah, on Showtime or whatever it was. We can't say. We'll bleep that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Our sex ed was bad. I think it still is.
Yeah, we had the Fully Alive books. I remember those, and I'm like, do you remember that?
No.
Fully Alive. They were from the 80s and still bred into the curriculum.
Oh, good.
And I'm like, this is weird. This is very,
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
This is not what we...
But yeah, sadly, those are the things about bodies when I'm like, this is kind of weird because you're at that, you're coming to be who you are and you're experimenting. And now my theory in my head is that green and hot dog, maybe that's how the green came.
Oh, I mean, you're putting two and two together here.
Yeah,
okay,
I'm like,
yeah.
Are you guys just trying to start rumors about you? I need to know who they are. So if you're out there and you're watching this, please just let me know who you are. DM me because I want to, like, maybe we could talk about it. Did it go away?
Yeah, what if they popped it in further? Or what if they put it in...
Birthed the hot dog?
And it came out with the hot dog. Like
in the bun with the relish. This is disgusting. I can't.
Okay, what body thing do you have? Like, did you get anything weird growing up?
Did I get anything weird? Not really. I had a gnarly birthmark on my leg. I cracked my teeth off. That was painful when I slipped doing the worm. I used to drink, and I used to drink a lot. And when I did drink a lot, I would always have to be the center of attention. And sometimes you get paid for it. It's great. Yeah. But this was at my cousin's wedding, and I was like, I was out having a smoke with my ex, and some drama happened. I'm like, I'm going to go inside and dance. And really so I'm like, let me just do the move that I know the best, the worm in front of a whole giant Italian family.
Yeah, with the full suit on.
Full suit. And then so I'm dancing with my aunt, and I'm like, all right, now's the time, Raco. Let's dip down.
Do you remember the song?
No, I don't at all.
Okay.
All I remember is I remember being drunk and immediately sober. So the way it went was jump up, crack right on the teeth.
First crack.
Yeah, just I hit them at an angle, and they didn't break off, so they just cracked right at the jawline. Oh, the amount of surgery.
Oh.
But so I'm like, oh, that sucked, and I'm like, damn, this doesn't feel, this doesn't. And then I'm like, okay, all right, I taste blood. So I go in the mirror and I see two lines in my teeth, and then I just suck back, and they move, and blood, and I'm like, no. And this is before I was an actor. I was still a drummer, so I'm like,
so how many are we talking here?
Just two front.
Just the two front. So they fully just cracked.
They cracked. And so this is on a Friday.
My God.
There's no emergency dental in Windsor, Ontario.
No, there's not.
No, so I had to wait till Monday. You can't drink water. You can't. It was.
Oh, because the nerves are just exposed.
Yeah, so that was where the drunk went to sober. Was I was like, oh, like I wish this upon no one. Like when they're like, what pain do you wish upon your worst enemy? I'm like, not the teeth thing.
No.
That's
an open nerve is like, it's like that feeling.
There's nothing you can do. It goes all the way to your toes.
It does.
And I'm like, my God, I'll just, whatever it is. That sucked. Yet I mean, I went to high school.
Where was the blood though? Like where?
The blood came from the crack in the teeth. I don't understand how that happened, but it was bleeding through the crack, and I'm like, ew. And I remember going to my mom, and she's like, idiot.
Yeah, you feel bad.
My dad was just like, get in the car, we're going home. I'm like, all right. I don't know why I was Jack Sparrow, but I was like, hello, love, I'm broken teeth.
My God.
Yeah, so that was my body thing.
Oh God, that's bad.
And I had a flipper for a long time.
A flipper?
Yeah, which is because they had to go in and remove the teeth and do all these things. And so during it's the fake teeth that are like
the clippy clips.
Clip.
Oh, that's
And
fun.
so I remember during one season of Riverdale, I was in coverage with KJ, who plays Archie, and I remember doing reverse, and he was on a coverage with me, and I'm like, and I popped him out, and he's like, what the fuck? And that was one of my favorite things, because no one saw it except him. And I'm like, that's my little thing. And then the amount of...
Are they still clicky, or are they in now?
No, I have a bridge unit, but now I need to go get implants here and then here.
Yeah, you're really going
so the surgery has just been postponed because of filming. So like it's 6 months of healing time, which sucks, and $20,000. But yeah,
months of that's a lot of money too. 6 months of healing. Why they have to? It takes that long for them to fully.
So it's the disgusting process, but they have to like re-drill your bone out, add bone, let screws heal. If the screws don't heal, which is my fear, then you'll have little metal things coming through your gum.
Oh God, no, they'll heal. They'll heal.
Thank you.
I think Canadians, I think we have like a better healing.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
This is completely talking my ass, my huge asshole.
Gaping.
Yeah. That's
anyway. So that's
good though. That's
a disgusting.
A lot.
Yeah, that's just my like trauma. If you wanted to get into that.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
Isn't it crazy those times where you're so fucking drunk and just like you could have drove home, like literally you do that, you're like,
Yeah. I wish that existed all the time. Where I'm like drunk. Button.
Yeah, literally.
I mean, there are drugs for that. And a lot of people do them, but that I'm like none of that. But I'm like, I wish there's that that immediate like regret thing.
Where you're like, my buddy Will, me and my ex Steve, years ago, we were way too old to be playing hide and go seek in a playground. We got really high. This is in Toronto. It's like I think it's at DuPont and like Dundas, you know, that area. Like it was like a weird little parkette thing. We're running around playing. We're probably 22, 23 years old. Will runs under this bridge, and he just hits the bridge and falls. And I go,
he's dead. Up. Yeah.
He was wearing a hat. I go over, the hat's off, and there's a halo of blood in the sand around his head. And I go, okay. I go, Will. He stands up. He's like, is everything okay? Kind of itches like this. He had scalped his head. He went just like the top, just this part of his head just went, and I was like, and we were like, I was so high, and I went, all right, and I ran. This is before cell phones. Yeah. Like I had like a Fido, whatever the fuck phone I had. Yeah. I ran down to Bloor Street, got a cab. I'm like, we need right now an ambulance. Right now, you need to drive us to the hospital. We can't wait for an ambulance. Whatever. I ran down, got in the car. The guy was like, don't get blood everywhere. Steve took his shirt off. We're like trying to like cover the back seat. We get to the hospital at Bathurst and Queen. Whatever that one was.
Okay, yeah.
I think you know that one. Very specific. No reason to tell this. Yeah. If you don't know Bathurst and Queen, okay.
It's that hospital.
Yeah. So we go in, and the woman cleaned his head out, like thoroughly cleaned it, like pushed it down so tight, and then wrapped his head. And we sat there for like 6 hours, and then he got 17 staples in his head. And it was fine. His hair grew back in fine. Everything was fine. But it was like we all went from just like to okay, we are doing surgery right now. Like it was.
Oh my God, that's so traumatic.
It was.
How old are you guys?
22.
Okay, I mean, like in that case, I would have been like, can you lift a little bit on the side so it could just make me like the LA version of that would be like, hey, while you're
while you're in there,
Yeah. Wow, that's disgusting. I would have put a leaf in there just to been like, that's what you get.
A lucky leaf. Just a little Canadian memoir.
And a Steph infection.
And a sprinkle of infection. That's crazy.
That's insane. Yeah.
Do you think that that dick thing is the worst thing you've ever heard? The green dick?
No, that's just the one that'll be the most appropriate. No, I've heard disgusting things.
Okay, let's get into those. What are the like? Those are my favorite questions. What are the most haunting things you've heard?
No.
We're not allowed? Okay, well, I have a question about, this is another Windsor question.
Right. Yeah.
Because me and my friend, Pat Bircher, hilarious comedian, were really high one night of mushrooms. There used to be a club in Windsor. Yeah. Bad. Comedy club. It was really bad. It was run by this guy.
Oh yeah, it was Yuck Yucks or no?
No, there may have been a Yuck Yucks, but this was run by some guy where it was literally looked like a picture frame, so you couldn't see from our knees down. Like it was absurd that was the stage. It was crazy. It was at the bottom of this like pub. It was bad.
Everything's in the bottom of a pub.
Yeah, it was the bottom of a pub.
I grew up in the bottom of a pub.
Yeah, you grew up in a pub. In the basement. And we were just high one night watching the water between Windsor and thing, and I was like, oh, I could probably swim across that. And he's like, no, the undercurrents are so bad. Yeah. And then we got like talking about that. I myself freaked out. I wasn't going in the water, but I was like, I wonder if a lot of like Americans tried to swim across and died. Like, did you ever hear about this? This is, I guess, my question.
My grandfather actually swam with a boat in the 50s across, but to one of the islands, like Bell Island or something.
Like a boat beside him?
Yeah, but he did it. But a little further down, because right where the I guess it would be the GM Tower, the Renaissance building.
Yes.
apparently as soon as you jump in, you'll just be shipped right to the bridge. And I'm like, so sadly they find a lot of bodies at the bridge because that's where like there's a little, if you like, I don't know the last time you went there, there's a little walkway under the bridge now, so you can go like halfway in the water, and the water's just in a circle. It just goes, and I'm like, oh, I do want to know what that feels like.
No,
but it's frigid.
No.
But I mean, the Detroit River is probably the equivalent to the East River, where it would just be skeletons instead of sand at the bottom.
There's some stuff going on down there.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
That would be really. Do you know that I found this out too? This is super gross. In Amsterdam, the canals.
Okay, no.
So you're like, okay, no, I don't know.
I don't know what Amsterdam is.
Yeah. It was a big jump here. It has nothing to do with Windsor, but I was just thinking about the bottom of the water.
Yeah.
They scoop out with cranes because they're not that deep. The Amsterdam canals. I don't know if you've been there. They're really murky water, so you can't see shit. But they once every 2-3 years they have to like get a crane and scrape out the stuff. They said they scrape out like a lot of dildos for like joke bachelorette parties and stuff, and then a lot of bodies. Like homeless people that just like fall in or something. But I'm like, just like the image of just like a wet body. This is horrible. I don't know why.
Yeah, this got dark. This got really dark. A wet body holding a dildo.
Yeah, it's like, is that in both holes. It's like, why was he still doing that? Yeah.
Well, how did he fall in?
How did he fall in? He was having a good time. He fell in doing what he loved. Sucking on a dildo and fucking one.
Rest in peace. That's terrible. Yeah,
it's bad. I don't know. Yeah, fun story.
That's so fun. Hey kids, by the way, when you're in Amsterdam, go for a dive.
Yeah. There's nothing there. There's just, you can go in. There's no like fences. It's just like a free for all.
I mean, that'd be a fun little adventure to go. I should ask the scuba team. I don't think there's a scuba team of Windsor, but
no.
But like to go down there.
Absolutely no scuba team in Windsor, Ontario.
Or like the East River would be great, something like that. Or the Thames in England would be.
Oh yeah.
So gross.
Disgusting. That murky. That like every time. That's one thing I love about Ontario is our lakes are so clean.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like it's crazy. Like you're seeing the bottom. I mean, not the whole, obviously the whole fucking lake.
Yeah, but up in Muskoka in that area where you're like, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Do you go kayaking a lot?
No, I did as a kid though. We Burke's Falls and stuff like that. We drive up, which was fun, and then later I just moved to the States. Yay.
And then now we. Yeah. Do you ever swim in the ocean here?
Fuck no. No, fuck no. I don't like the sharks. No. The thought of sharks. One time I was in there and there were dolphins behind me, and I freaked the fuck out.
How close we talking?
We're talking like I saw fins, so that's within 50 feet, I would say, right? And I'm like...
Did you think it was a shark?
Absolutely. I'm from Windsor. If you see a fin, I don't care if it's a fish, it's a shark to me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I'm like, no fucking way.
Yeah.
And I got kind of traumatized because when I first came to LA, maybe 10 years ago, I came here and I'm like, oh, beach. And I would jump in, I think it was a red flag day, so jump in these big ass waves. And one of these waves just boosh with my head right at the bottom. And I was like, oh, this isn't fun anymore.
No. The sea has her way with you.
Have you, that meltdown that happened in Japan, they were finding things washing up in LA. And
really?
So I'm like, that's kind of weird.
What were they finding?
Like parts of buildings or something. That's what I was told. And I'm like, I don't want any of the thing. I don't want to grow more toes than I need. So I'm good.
I don't want things.
But weird enough, I'm like, if I'm in Santa Barbara, same water. I'm like, yo, what's up? I'm in SB. But like LA, you know what I mean?
I mean, I don't swim from Will Rogers to past Venice. Venice is disgusting. Venice is the Kensington Market on the water.
Yes.
Very specific Toronto reference.
Yes. Yeah, that's a great reference.
Exactly it. Yes, it's a good reference. It's like, it's gross. Venice is gross. I don't know why people are like, Venice. I'm like, I don't go to Venice. The water there, it's like, it's a sandbox.
Yeah, and people pay like $20 million to live on the canals. And I'm like, that's, no.
The canals are cool.
Yeah, but still. I'm like, you're still in Venice.
No,
you're still in Venice. I'm like, oh, cool, my car, bye.
Yeah, see ya.
Someone took it.
Someone's living in it now, and that's it. They can, they take it over.
Squatters law of LA.
Yeah, which is so fucking scary. But I swim a lot in the water, even though I probably shouldn't. But I'm dipping. But I like Redondo. Hermosa is my favorite beach.
Okay, I don't think I've been.
It's a bit cleaner down there. Yeah. It's a nice little. I like to dip though. But I went to Zuma once with my sister, and we got fucked by the waves. We both came out and we were like bleeding. Like we got scratched around because it fucks with you when you're like, I'm like, this is. And have you ever been in a riptide?
No.
I saw a girl, she couldn't get out. The lifeguard had to go in, and I was like, that I don't love that.
Yeah, I don't like that.
She just kept going further out, and she was like waving, and I was like, I think that
Hey!
Hello?
Why'd she keep waving? What a loser.
I don't know her. Who's that fucking idiot?
She's not with me.
Ignore her.
Look, she's gone.
But it was literally... Okay, you accuse me of being dark, and then you come right back with this woman died. It was terrifying, and he had to go out, and like apparently there's like an angle you have to swim in to come in on.
Yeah, I won't
like you
know
can't
that
just
angle.
go.
Yeah.
Also, what angle?
45 degrees.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm at a solid 27. Get your fucking
sharks beside you going. You're going the wrong way. You're
Let me eat your leg so you're that way. Yeah, thanks, bud.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
You don't have any like stories that aren't too crazy for you?
No, they're pretty gross.
Okay, what's something you heard that wasn't that gross that's haunted you? You're like, I can't tell you. These are all bad.
They seem to be all sexual. I grew up in music, right?
Yes.
So, everything we do is like sex, drugs, rock and roll.
Mm-hmm. Bad. Okay, what happened? Like any like bad moshing stories or bad concert things?
No, I mean, I had someone throw up in my mouth once while kissing, which was gross. That was not a fun thing. I've told this story before, but
that's fucking gross.
Yeah. It was
Even
like a drunk thing where you're like, and I'm like,
did you start barfing?
Yeah. Well, I barfed out what was the remainder of that, but yeah.
How much go in it?
It was like the bile stuff. So you're like, this is kind of disgusting. Why? Ew. And I'm like, I think I should stop drinking. And you should definitely. What's your name again?
Yeah.
We should.
Was that what you were like? How long have you been sober for?
Almost 3 years.
Oh shit! Yeah. Are you California sober or are you sober?
California sober.
I love that.
No, lately I've been full. I have no noise in my life except for all the noise I create, which is just desperation. Please hire me.
He did bring in a package of headshots on the way in. And,
Hi, I'm Rob Raco. I'm 5'10". I'm auditioning for anything, please.
Anything. Nothing specific.
Nothing,
it's a full thing.
What can I play? Anything.
Anything
No. But really, it's that's been a fun journey. Is being the guy out in LA and having awareness when I was the guy being like, being a DD.
Yeah.
Designated driver for you children.
Why do you think so many children are listening to this? You're like, for all the kids out there, I hope there's no children listening to this.
Well, if I post it, maybe, yeah. It'll be like 13.
Oh yeah, your followers mostly like
kids.
Kids, yeah.
Well, now I guess they've grown up.
Yeah. Okay, good. So now they're legal.
Now they're like now they're legal. Thanks for making me feel gross, disgusting. I'm just gonna post.
You're not Chris D'Elia, I know that. Do I talk about him all the time? Yeah, I bring him up almost every podcast. I made fun of him last night on stage, and even my boyfriend was like, I think you should stop bringing up Chris D'Elia on stage. He's like, it's not getting laughs. I'm like, I don't care. I'm not doing it for the laughs. I'm doing it to spread awareness.
Yeah, there's awareness. I mean, there's a lot of assholes that
I could name 10 men right now.
Isn't that gross?
That's
Isn't
disgusting.
That gross? Yeah.
It's disgusting. I mean, I'm sure there's women out there. I'm not people getting on the fucking comments. These fucking women.
Yeah. I mean, it's just.
It's gonna be on YouTube now. And people be like, "What is you fucking bitch? Chris D'Elia is innocent." Is he? Check the DMs. I mean.
Yeah.
I'm getting serious here now.
That's it's one of those things.
Not.
Like looking at power and what we do. It's a silly job. No matter what. Yeah. We do a silly job, and it comes from a place of truth. We make fun of things, and we have the power and ability to be able to influence people. And when people cross that line, I'm like, that's gross.
Yeah, it's very gross.
That's gross.
It's also,
like, it's one thing to play that. That's fine.
Yeah.
When I'm on, when they say action, I have no boundaries, and that's my job. As do you. Like, that's the thing. We have no boundaries for our craft. I don't care what I say. But as a human, we walk around and do these. You know what I mean? Like, come on, be a person.
Yeah, and you have a lot of followers, so it's like you're definitely. The wide range there. A lot of people are fucking looking at stuff.
Yeah, a lot of people look to create things too. I mean, like this stuff. I mean, cancel culture happened during COVID, which is a touchy situation. But I'm like, how many people just jumped on bandwagons? And I'm like, there's a lot of people that cross lines, and then a lot of people that just were like bored on the internet. And I don't want to get in trouble for saying that, but I'm like, let's do research. Like, these are people's lives, and then there's also like pieces of shit out there. Let's try to like figure this out. You know? And that's
before it's accusing people without fucking finding.
And most people that
pages of evidence like they did for Chris D'Elia.
Exactly. Thank you.
That's why I keep bringing him up, because it's like, I also know somebody personally it happened to, and it's just, you know.
I think we all do.
I think we all do. I mean, I think we all do. But yeah, I know that because I have friends that were accused of doing things that, you know, they came out to me like, hey, there's someone who's going to say this about me. I want you to hear it first. And like I had guys kind of be crying and like, you know, I know a lot of people, like I have a joke now where I say on stage where I'm like, who gets scared of the whole Me Too thing, and everyone gets quiet, and I'm like, I did, and everyone's like, what? Like I turn around and then I say, it's real. Like I fingered a bunch of guys' butts without asking. And I like, there's this one guy that I fingered his butt pretty fast and hard, and he like freaked the fuck out. He was like, get it out. And I was like, I'm like, I'm getting Me Too'd for fingering butts right now. Yeah, no, it was a lot. It was a lot.
Oh my God, this is amazing. On stage.
On stage I do that. And I did it at the store a few weeks ago, and a guy said, yeah. He's like, yeah, I got scared. And I was like, like nobody usually answers that.
Oh yeah. Interesting.
But it's like interesting for me to yell it out, and I was like, and the whole crowd like looked over, and his friend was like, it was him, it wasn't me. And I was like, okay, man. I'm like, something in college, like was it like a drunk night or something? And he was like, no, recently, man. And I was like, oh, how do I make this funny?
Yeah. Seek help.
I was like, it's about man. I ended up walking him out. Because I kept going, and he got upset and left, and I was like, why did you answer me?
Yeah, shut up.
Don't actually answer the question if you did something bad. You don't have like a way to be like I've had some guys before. One guy, like a guy from England one time said, yeah, and I'm like, what happened? He goes, drunk night, we both were too drunk. And I was like, thank you. That's also most people, I'm sure that's happened. There's a lot of us have had sex under the influence, and we're like,
Oh yeah.
What was that last night? Like
absolutely.
Years ago where I'm like, I don't remember it, or like, anyways. This podcast has been up and it's been down. We have hit some dark spots and some light spots.
This is great.
Did your parents ever say weird things to you growing up about your bod, like about like weird like? So I try like, do we have any specific Canadian things? So you're Italian, I'm a Bulgarian. I was like trying to think it was like a weird. Didn't have a lot.
No, I bit my nails a lot. I mean, I still kind of do.
Same.
Yeah, but I bit my nails a lot, and while I was studying to become a drummer, they're like, your fingers are going to stay the same size and this, and I'm like, I don't think that's how genetics. I don't think that's a thing. Though. But I'm like, oh, that's a good way to keep my hands out. Hold on, I'm stressed. But no, not really. No, they're pretty good. I was in. I mean, I always kept active as a kid, so between drumming and soccer, and but no, they never really embarrassed me with body things.
No soccer injuries?
Not that I remember. I was a kid. No.
You broke your femur when you were 6?
I did break my wrist being an idiot trying to build a treehouse with a wall of bricks, and my dad's like, please be careful of the bricks. And I'm like, yeah, it's fine, Dad.
Why is he letting you build a brick house at 6?
Well, he wasn't allowing me to build a brick house. I was next to a wall of bricks that he was using for the driveway.
Oh, I see.
And I'm like, well, this is obviously the spot. And he's like, please be careful. And I was like, on the way, he let me hammer things as a kid. I'm good at building things. And so I'm like, great. And then I bump into it, and the bricks just boom. And I'm like, oh. And I snapped my wrist in half.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, it was disgusting. And then I once.
Did it like pop out?
No, that's gross. Don't even mention that. That's stunning. Please.
Oh, and the hot dog and the puss is normal, but the old.
Yeah, but it wasn't mine. I don't have one. But, you know. Yeah, I mean, gross body things growing up. The best one I have, and my sister will disagree with me, is we were playing baseball as a kid, as kids. And she had tossed the ball, and she said I ran after it. No, wait, let me see. I tossed the ball and ran after the bat, is what she says.
Oh.
But that's not it. I was standing there, tossed the ball, and she fucking swang at me. And I got a crack across the head.
Very different stories here.
Very different stories. I only remember going black.
Oh,
and then just
really?
And then I'm like, Mom, my brains are falling out.
No.
Yeah.
Was it bleeding bad?
I got stitches so many times in my face.
Really?
Yeah.
They're hiding. They're hidden in there.
Great plastic surgeon.
That's the one thing Windsor's not actually. They don't talk about good plastic surgery.
Yeah, it's it. We invented plastic molding for the toilet and plastic surgery. It's literal plastic. Yeah.
For real, the molding in the toilet?
Yeah, the plastic molded toilet was invented in Windsor, I believe. The headquarters is there. Yeah.
The toilet headquarters is in Windsor.
Welcome to Windsor. Sit comfortably.
Good toilets in Windsor.
Yeah.
I stayed at the casino once.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember taking a shit. And I don't imagine. It was
good.
2010.
Yeah, it was good.
Big shit. Good wipe.
Good 12-pounder. Yeah. Just went right down right into the Detroit River. Swam. Caught it right. You know what? It made it across.
Yeah, they actually saw it at the bridge. They went like, what is the thing spinning in there?
Why does it have
child. No, it's a full turd.
Why does it have a flag in it?
Okay, well, we can wrap it up. We're getting to the end of the episode here.
Okay. There was a 911 question.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
a fun
yeah.
one.
That's
911.
That one. Yes, okay.
911
yes.
for me is a funny one because every month I dial 911.
Every month?
Yes. And so there's been times in my life I've dialed 911 for what it's used for, and then there's times when I want to snooze my alarm, and this new iPhone thing where I click it 5 times is an emergency, so I'm like, and it's like ring, and I'm like, fuck, no. And I always get the call back, and they're like, is there an emergency? I'm like, no, I was just sleeping, I'm fine.
Oh my God.
I'm like, fucking idiot, man, what are you doing? So that's just, yeah. So every month I usually have one of those where I'm like, oh, like, today's a 4:30 a.m. one. All right, it's cool, I'll be up, and it's fine. And then I usually call 911, and that makes me wake up.
That's a lot.
Yeah, they come with cuffs. I get arrested every time.
Again, it's hire this guy. He needs to pay his legal fees. At this point, he's got
I have a lot of things that I need to pay for. One of them is being an idiot in the morning. Yeah, but no, nothing. I've never had a funny. What about you? What about you in 911?
Oh, I think I've told mine. I've called it a few times. I used to work at a really bad waiting pool in Toronto, and like Main and Danforth, main station.
Okay,
very specific. Yeah. I love the specificity. And it was this 45-year-old man fought a 14-year-old because he beat him in tetherball. And he was wailing on him, and I couldn't get him off, so I had to call the police. I was like,
oh damn, that's like real shit.
So I need to get this man off this kid. He was really pounding him.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Frank.
That sounds
he was a bad guy. I don't know if Frank's still around, but he'd hang out and challenge the kids to foosball. I don't think he was all there. If
he's challenging children too.
Yeah.
Tetherball or foosball? Tetherball. Yeah. Here, kid.
Yeah. Then he would be way larger. He was a 44-year-old man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. Where can they find you? Are you working on stuff right now? You got something coming out?
So last year I shot in Toronto. I produced a movie and wrote the soundtrack. And it's,
excuse me.
Yeah, my first time producing, co-writing, and starring in a film, which was hard to get funding during COVID, but quite fun to be able to be in that thing. And now we're in final editing and sales. So hopefully in the next, I would say 3 months. I don't know how long this film takes, but I did that, and that was super fun. Tentative title, 100 Lies on that. And then I've been working on a ton of music this year. That has opened me back up into the music industry and being like, hey, I have a plethora of talents here. Why not do them all?
Yeah.
And then I've done a lot of traveling. I'm trying to make the world a little bit smaller, and it's been quite fun as opposed to being like, America. I'm like, I'm a foreigner. Hi.
No, yeah, you need to go. We need to dip our toes overseas.
Plus, I think content-wise, I think we need to make things for humanity rather than one specific thing. It's just being like, what are Italians like? Great, let's make that. And it just always comes down to love, not to be cheesy. But
I'm like, wow, don't hire him anymore.
Don't hire him. Who is this guy? But I'm like, let's start making things about people again. That'd be nice. So.
Aw, what a nice message to end the podcast with. Thank you for coming in, Rob.
Thank you.
Follow him on Instagram, just at Rob Raco, right? That's it. Yeah. That's it. And then I come see me do comedy before seeing you.
Yes, please. I'm gonna take all my pretty boyfriends, my pretty man friends,
okay.
my pretty boyfriends. How you doing? And I want you to rip them apart, please. Just like make them very uncomfortable.
I can do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Including me.
I will.
Please.
Of course, you're not gonna be safe. Okay. Thank you.
Mwah.
Bye.
Thanks.